Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cameron House Marina. My name's Ruben Mercer, I'm the sales manager here at Marine Sales Scotland. This is a Bavaria S29 Open. It's a 2019 model powered by twin Mercruiser 4.5 litre V6s, each one with 250 horsepower. That is 500 horsepower all in. She really goes. Now this was the prime example at the Southampton Boat Show. She was commissioned and launched here by us brand new in 2020 to her solo loving owner, who has very sparingly used her in only fresh water. The engine hours, well, it's less than 30, so this is a chance to buy something that is effectively as good as new with a huge discount off of the list price. She really is in fabulous condition, as you'd expect. You can see from the teak to the upholstery, no tears, no nicks, nothing like that at all. What we'll do is, initially, you can see that this sort of area here is hinged. Now there's a huge storage locker under there. I'll show you that in just a moment. And then what we'll do is we'll also take all of the canopies off and show, well, she's called the S29 Open after all. We'll open her up and show you what she looks like. So this huge storage area is perfectly capable of taking a tender and also an engine. You need to deflate the tender, of course. Any water toys that you want to tow from behind this S29 Open, certainly stick them in there as well. Let's get the canopies off and we will show you the saloon and the cockpit, the berths, the heads, absolutely everything. You know the drill. Lovely. Now with the covers off, you can see that we've got a full extended swim platform, and when I say full, I mean it is full beam, so very difficult to find that on a 28-29 foot cruiser these days. It is, of course, fully covered with teak, and teak is also inlaid just there and all the way through the cockpit. Now what we do have, and again you don't seem to get it on most modern day 28-29 foot cruisers, is we've got full walk around capabilities to both port and starboard, and the guardrails come all the way up to the knee, so it's good if you've got people with mobility issues, perhaps the elderly or young kids about. Well, they can safely traverse up onto the bow where there are extended sun, where there are sun cushions for you to top up that tan in the summer. Here we've also got a girdle for a cockpit barbecue, but the main focal point at the rear of the boat is this huge sunbathing area, and it looks absolutely lovely. Right now it is under the sort of cover of the bimini, and just in a moment I'll touch on that, but there you can see we've got a remote controlled spotlight. That is your VHF aerial, and then an Intellian satellite television system. Now I've got sidetracked there, but let's go back onto this sunbathing area here. So underneath that is the engine bay. There is quite a high degree of customization here with this boat. They have gone with the sort of grey cushions, the grey cup holders that also double as armrests, and it really goes well with the entirety of the boat. Now this backrest is on a hinge, so what you can do is, if you want to really extend this out, well, the backrest folds back and it almost folds flat. What that means is you've got a huge lounging area for at least 3 or 4 of your guests to relax and unwind and enjoy the sun. A fantastic space for entertaining in. Again, here's another one of those cup holders, and a champagne bucket. You can tell what these owners like to do. But it just looks so nice and clean, and the layout is so functional. Everyone here in this U-shaped seating has good views out onto the water. And also what we do have is, within this bag there is a television, so you can watch TV while underway. Sat here, everyone is going to have a good view right here of the television. Now we've got stereo speakers. There's one on the radar arch and there's another, and just underneath the television and right next to the stereo speakers we've got the cockpit entertainment centre. So that consists of a fridge, a cold sink, and then we have a recessed drained area here. If you want to make cocktails, if you're good with that sort of thing, well, it is drained, so it doesn't matter if you get it a little bit wet or you splash some alcohol on it. What I'll do is I will take this cover off, I'll open up all these hatches so you can get a good grasp of what they look like. So we've got a Ferguson television here. Now that comes with the cover, and that is capable of plugging in or connecting to the Intellian dome that's just above here on the radar arch. That gives you satellite connectivity. Next up we do have our sort of wet area, so if you do want to pour drinks here, make cocktails, well, there's the drain for it there, so there's no hassle, no stress whatsoever about getting your teak dirty. Furthermore, we've got our cold sink, and then in here is the cockpit fridge. And that just means that if you are socialising with guests up top, you don't have to run down and break up the conversation downstairs in the saloon. And it's always a handy thing having an extra fridge for your refreshments. Now just to recap, so this socialising, this area is going to be the main social hub, and there is diesel heating that comes up here, so you can use it all year round. And then you do have double stitched upholstery, all of which is marine vinyl, so it can just wipe down. It's designed to get dirty and wet. You can wipe it down or you can dry it off with a cloth. Now all of the seating up here, well, the social guest seating is off to port. Starboard, we do have the Helm, and what an ultra luxurious Helm it is. Now that consists of, for a start, a great commanding view out over the Helm. We've got a remote controlled spotlight, our Bavaria embossed stainless steel steering wheel with leather grip, bow thruster, twin throttles, it's a Mercruiser drive system, twin Bennett electric trim tabs, an electric winch for the anchor. Gauge is nice and neatly displayed in front of us with this matte aluminium effect, grey dash, and then we've got a Simrad NSS Evo 3. So that has chart plotting capabilities, it's got GPS, and it's also got a sonar suite underneath, so you get accurate representation of the topography underneath the ground. Underneath the hull, forgive me. Now in regards to the canopies, this really is an all-weather cruiser. You can see that these have been factory sealed in onto the radar arch. And it's been raining here, like I think most of the UK have had a lot of rain. There was a storm in the past week. No rainfall, no drips, no damp marks in here whatsoever. You can see there just how well they are sealed in. And that the canopy, well, it's very taut and tight, so you don't get any sagging spots in it where the water pools and sometimes drips in. No, no, no. Bavarias really are at the forefront of build quality. Lovely. So this is privacy glass, so it's one way. You can't really see in, but you certainly can see out from down below. Let's take a little look. Let's just close this door off. Some privacy, there we go. Lovely. Now there's a real cosy atmospheric feel down here in the saloon. We've got the galley off to port, and just behind that is the door for the aft cabin. This here is the door for the heads, but that light wood finish contrasts well with the dark. Plenty of natural light pouring in here as well. A lovely, lovely area. Our lovely space to come down and enjoy the evening after a long day's sailing. So let's start at the galley here. What we do have is we've got a stainless steel hot and cold sink underneath there. There's an abundance of storage. And in here, we've got a fridge with freezer compartment. Now you can always tell how well a boat's been looked after by the condition of the fridge, and that there sums this one up really. Space down below for a microwave should you want to get one in as well. Now up top we've also got twin gas burners, and this is called the high quality worktop finish. So it is matte effect, scratch resistant, really contrasts well with the dark flooring, with the light wood, the whole thing. You get the idea, just looks fantastic. So we have a Simrad VHF here. Also, there is a Ferguson television. Now, believe it or not, we've actually got satellite television connectivity down here. There is an Intellian dome on the radar arch. Now, this would be your main focal area for entertaining and socialising at night. You can get 6 to 7 people round the table. There is recessed storage all the way along there as well. Now the table can drop down and turn this into a berth, but let me just get up to this end, and I always like to show you what a boat looks like from a different perspective. So that is one of two Fusion stereo speakers. There's the other one down below. And then up top on the radar arch, there are another two speakers. That is controlled with the Fusion control here. That has Bluetooth connectivity as well. And for those of you who don't know, Fusion is the marine equivalent of Sonos, which is as high quality as you get really in the stereo market. So what we'll do in just a moment is we'll take this down, but I want to show you as well, Everspacer diesel warm air heating, a must have for the UK if you want to use your boat out with the summer. Now what we'll do, I'll drop this table down and I'll take off the backrest. The table leg actually goes across to support the table, and there's also a wooden plate that just goes in here, turns this into a very large double berth. Now what we have is we have an area for another 2 to 3 people to sleep on. Also, what you could do if you just want to have a lazy evening, you can drop down the table, turn this into a huge lounging area. You can see there's no better area to sort of sit with your feet up and watch the television after a night out on the water. You can see it's the table that just drops down, forms one nice big flat area for you to relax and unwind in. And then of course the blinds pull across, so that is the mosquito net, and then you've got the blind that pulls across, and you can sort of fully enclose this area from outside. Right, okay, we'll get this back up and we'll crack on with the rest of the boat. Beautiful, lovely. Right, up next, well, we've got twin rocker switches for the onboard lighting system. The bottom one here is for the heads, so let's take a look at it. About 5 feet and 10 inches worth of headroom from floor to ceiling. We've got storage in behind here, and then plenty of storage as well for all your essentials tucked away in there too. Now it's an electric quiet flush toilet. It does have a waste tank. You also do have the sea discharge option should you want to use it. And there is that high quality finish, scratch resistant worktop for the onboard sink. Just a little touch that I do like. A lot of boats nowadays, if in the 28-29 foot class, you have to pull out the tap faucet and pull it out to use it as a shower. Not in this one. It has a dedicated shower and a dedicated handle for your own convenience. And don't worry, ladies and gents, you can pull that blind down so you have total privacy while you are in here. Lovely. Lovely. Now it does go without saying that on these modern day Bavarias, they are towards the higher end of the spectrum when it does come to build quality, and that is really noticeable when the doors are really thick and solid and heavy. They close well, the handles are absolutely beautiful, really nice and clean. Some of them, some other boat makers, you close the door and the handles don't sit flush, the door frame doesn't sit flush. Well, the joinery on this is outstanding. I mean, little things like the grain of the wood here, you can see that's continued from panel to panel. So just overall, a really nice and tidy, well built boat. Perfect for offshoring. Likewise, it's here in Loch Lomond, also really versatile and well suited to inland waterways. Now here in the aft cabin, initially from floor to hatch, you've just got a little over 6 foot worth of headroom. Now obviously the roof is stepped to allow you that space in here. There's space for 2 people to get changed in, and then it really is a double berth. I'll come on to that momentarily, but I do like this little settee area here. If you want to unwind and maybe do a spot of reading before going to bed, you certainly can do it there. Or if you just need to use it as storage, then certainly be my guest. Now, as we are on the subject of storage, there is shelf storage in here with a few bits and bobs. There's also a nice recessed area just up there, and that really brand new feel has continued all the way in here. So there's over 6.5 feet worth of length, and you've got just over 4.5 feet worth of width as well. So bigger than a queen size bed. We've also got one reading light that's on a rocker switch. But do not be worried. There's plenty of light coming in from this porthole, which does have a blind. And then there's also plenty coming in from the skylight up top. And there's another cabin light as well. Really nice big functional space considering the boat's only 29 feet. Up next are the engines. Now it's an electric power lift engine hatch. There is the ram for it there. We've got two 4.5 litre Mer cruisers, and they're 250 horsepower each, so that's 500 horses sitting down here. This boat really flies along in the water, and service wise, well, there's plenty of space for an engineer to get in there and do his or her thing. That is your stainless steel fuel tank. Batteries are up on the port side, but it's just so clean and spotless. As I keep on saying, something that you would expect from a brand new boat. Well, the boat effectively is as good as new. Lovely. There we go, folks. Right, well, wow, I think is the only word that sums this one up. Spotless, immaculate, faultless, just a real good looker. I'm Ruben from Marine Sales Scotland, where fun in the water begins.